In the heart of southern Africa, there is a special place. A beautiful valley bursting with life. Home to 60 species of mammals and more than 400 species of birds. It is one of the greatest wildlife sanctuaries in the world. But this wilderness is at risk. Like many of Africa's wild places, there is an increasing threat from humans. With so many potential dangers, 2 young scientists are on the front line of protecting this incredible ecosystem.
Stop a bit.
They live in the heart of the bush, working around the clock. Their mission? To uncover the secrets of this great wilderness, to gather vital scientific data to be used to protect some of Africa's most iconic predators. It's 6 a.m. The day starts early for Johnathan Merkle and Henry Mwape. They're scientists working with the Zambian Carnivore Programme, known as ZCP. Their mission is to monitor the health of this ecosystem by studying its carnivores. ZCP's camp is on the banks of the Luangwa River, which borders the South Luangwa National Park. Their study area is in the heart of a vast wilderness, covering more than 70,000 square kilometers. A rich and diverse wildlife haven. Keeping track of so many different animals would be impossible, so Johnathan and Henry are focusing on an iconic species, which is the key to measuring the health of the whole ecosystem. Lions, Africa's largest carnivore. As apex predators now under threat, they are a crucial study species for the young scientists. Lions prey on herbivores like puku, zebra and buffalo, which eat plants and grasses. This vegetation also supports the whole ecosystem. If lions and other carnivores are doing well, it's a strong sign that everything else in the valley is thriving. Today, the team is looking for the Louis Pride. They are part of ZCP's long-term intensive study.
Johnathan, do you want to stop a bit? Huh? Stop.
A number of individual animals are fitted with radio collars. Each collar sends out a different signal.
Got it?
Yeah. Cool.
Henry uses an antenna to pick up the beep made by a collar and therefore find the animal that they want to see.
Right there, like 12:31. Okay?
Yeah.
Traveling across country takes time. The ground is rough and bumpy and is not the easiest to drive on.
Is it getting stronger?
Yeah. 10 o'clock, I think.
They arrive to find the Louis Pride doing what lions do best. Lions can spend up to 20 hours a day sleeping. After a big meal, male lions can doze for a full 24 hours. The Louis Pride is made up of 1 male lion, 5 lionesses, and 3 cubs from last year's litter.
They're so habituated, so used to us that we can get quite close and still not alter their behavior. We, of course, keep our distance. We get a little bit closer to get some photos and make sure we can see, check for injuries, check on their status, and then usually we kind of pull back and let them behave normally and kind of interact with their environment as they normally would.
Jonathan and Henry have identified 300 individual lions, with a catalogue of thousands of photos.
174, 173.
They recognize many just by memory.
It's either 247 or 173.
Scars or battle-torn ears help the team determine who's who. Also, every lion has a unique pattern of spots above the top line of whiskers. These whisker spots are as individual as our fingerprints, but are much easier to see.
I think it's 580, 589.
Yeah, because on the right side of the face, there's like these 3 whisker spots.
Yeah, it's definitely her. Female, born 9th of March 2013.
Being able to identify individuals means they can track everything that happens to these lions, including illness, injury, and reproduction. They've learned how prides can be fluid, with females often separating into smaller groups, and males even moving between prides. Today, all of the Louis Pride are looking fit and healthy, a good sign that all is well in this area of the park. The team has identified 18 separate lion prides and try to see them as often as they can. They spend days at a time out in the bush and cover hundreds of kilometers a week. In Africa, lion numbers have nearly halved in the last 20 years, and 75% of their habitat has been lost in the last 50. The Luangwa Valley remains one of the few strongholds for lions in Africa, so it's critical that the team monitors them closely. Henry picks up the signal of another pride. The Nsefu Pride, some of the valley's most successful lions.
Pretty sure that's 247, the other one. Yeah, that's 247. This female back here.
ZCP scientists have been studying this pride for nearly 10 years. They have seen the cubs grow and have cubs of their own. Now, the pride has 6 healthy lionesses. It's the females who are often responsible for dinner, and as sunset approaches, this small hunting party looks ready for action. The majority of lion hunts take place after dark, so studying lions isn't a regular 9 to 5. As night falls, the team decides to stay out. The young scientists want to see what's on the lion's menu tonight. Turning off the Jeep's headlights, Henry powers up a flashlight to reduce the disturbance to the animals.
I can man the receiver if you want.
Many lions have a favorite prey, and this pride is particularly fond of buffalo. Following hungry lions on the prowl can be tricky, especially when they go off the beaten track
It's pretty thick up here. In the nighttime, it's very difficult to keep up with these animals. If we don't find something soon, then we'll make a plan.
These lions can see 6 times better at night than their human trackers. But a groundbreaking thermal camera reveals the lion's nighttime world like never before.
Is that one of them?
Yeah, good.
Find them?
Yeah.
Nice job. So we're just trying to keep up with them and see what they're actually going to be hunting this evening. They might actually go and grab some water, or they might be trying to try their luck along the riverbed for any prey.
Following a hunt provides vital information about not only what the lions are eating, but how much. This gives the team insight into the lion's impact on the ecosystem and how prey abundance affects their survival. Lions are opportunistic hunters and will target a range of prey. Tonight, the Nsefu lions have got their eyes on Puku. After dark, Puku can't see well. They must rely on smell and hearing. The Nsefu lions can't outrun the Puku. They won't charge until they're fewer than 30 meters from their target. As a potential lion meal, it pays to be vigilant. Despite being Africa's largest carnivore, lions aren't the most successful hunters here in Luangwa. The Zambian Carnivore Programme has noted that only around 3 out of 10 lion chases ends in a meal. It's been a long day. Time to head back to camp for some rest.
So I don't know like where I'm heading to. I don't know whether this is north.
We're heading north.
We're heading north.
Yeah. Maybe take the left road, actually.
Left?
Yeah.
On the way, something catches Henry's eye. Hyena.
There's another one I've seen too.
Must be something there. Some sort of carcass, probably.
A hyena clan's feeding on something. Buffalo. It's likely this prize was scavenged from nearby lions. Hyenas will eat almost anything on a carcass, including bones, teeth, skin, even the hooves. They often fight over a carcass, but a strict hierarchy ultimately dictates who eats first. Once they get stuck in, hyenas will eat as much as they can, as fast as they can. A hyena can eat up to 1/3 of its own body weight in one sitting. Seeing them scavenge on a leftover buffalo, shows that lion kills must be plentiful. It's more evidence that the lion population here is doing well. There's more to be learned by looking at the carcass itself, but the team doesn't want to disturb the hyenas, and it's too risky to get out of the vehicle at night. They'll have to come back. After an 18-hour day in the field, it's finally time for bed.
Watch out for that log.
It's 7 a.m. Living in the bush means that wildlife is often right on their doorstep. The team wants to get back to the buffalo carcass before scavengers finish it off. As they get close, Johnathan spots another hyena. This is a good opportunity to observe one of Africa's most misunderstood predators in the daylight. Hyenas are also part of ZCP's research, but can be harder to find, as very few are radio-collared.
Do you have GPS?
Yeah, I've already...
You already marked it? Cool. Awesome. I think there's a misconception a lot of times that people just see hyenas as scavengers, which is not, I mean, which is true, they do scavenge a lot, but they're also hunters.
As the two hyenas move off, Johnathan and Henry decide to follow.
Must be something there.
Behind the trees, something they weren't expecting. A hyena mum suckling a very young litter. The cubs are born below ground and venture out mainly at night, so to see them out in the daytime is a rare treat for the team. They develop their spots about 5 weeks after being born. By looking at their fluffy new coats, Johnathan and Henry estimate that these cubs are just under 2 months old.
So there's 6 hyenas, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a communal den, with 2 litters from 2 different mothers. These cubs won't leave the den and join the rest of the clan until they're about a year old. It's an exciting discovery. 4 new cubs in total. Now the team knows the location of the den, they'll be able to closely monitor the cubs' development and add important data on hyena survival rates. Hyenas aren't popular here. They're the subject of many African myths, often associated with death or witchcraft, and they've suffered persecution from humans as a result. Johnathan and Henry leave the new family and return to the job at hand, the buffalo carcass. The hyenas from last night are nowhere to be found. With the hyenas gone, other scavengers have arrived to feast on the remains.
You see, that doesn't look that odd, right?
No, it doesn't look that old. Just the.
I think the vultures and the hyenas are the ones who have eaten up most parts of.
White-backed vultures are noisy eaters, calling out as they jostle for position. Super-strength stomach acid allows them to digest what other animals have left behind. Their iconic bald head allows them to dive into the carcass without getting their feathers covered in rotting flesh. This many birds on a carcass is a great sign of a healthy ecosystem. The vultures are a cleanup crew and help to stop the spread of disease that rotting carcasses could cause. But the role of these natural recyclers comes at a cost. Herders sometimes poison carcasses, trying to kill scavenging lions and other predators that stray too close to their livestock. Vultures often get to the carcass first and die after consuming the poisoned remains. This has led to a rapid decline in vulture numbers. Worryingly, studies suggest that they could be extinct in Africa in less than 100 years.
I think we'll grab Gibson and we'll get out and check out the carcass.
Gibson is an armed scout with the Zambian Wildlife Authority who works with the team. Getting out of the car is dangerous. A dead animal can attract hungry scavengers. Johnathan and Henry want to take some samples back to camp. They set about gathering as much information as possible. Tissue and blood samples will tell them if the buffalo was sick or poisoned. Teeth and hair provide information on its age and diet. These important samples will spoil in the midday heat, so it's time to head back to base. At their field laboratory, Johnathan puts the samples in the deep freeze, a vat of liquid nitrogen. And Henry feeds this valuable research into their detailed monthly record. These data from a single carcass feed into their long-term study of predators and prey, providing vital information to help protect the Luangwa Valley. In addition to direct observations, the carnivore team uses a variety of different study techniques. They've got remote cameras set around the valley in carefully chosen spots. They're hoping to gather images of one of their most secretive study subjects, the leopard. Living a solitary life, leopards are the most elusive carnivore. They hide in the thickest vegetation and usually hunt under the cover of darkness. The Luangwa National Park is known as the Valley of the Leopard. It's home to one of the densest leopard populations in Africa. Johnathan and Henry have been able to identify a number of individuals and learn about where they roam. Like this one, 13-year-old Kamuti. She's unusually active during daylight hours and is often seen hunting in the heat of the day. She's ruled over her territory for 10 years. This experience has made her a very successful hunter. ZCP's camera traps also reveal that prey such as impala and bushbuck are plentiful in the leopard's habitat. These data suggest that an unusual abundance of food may be the key to leopard success in the Luangwa Valley. It's now October, the hottest part of the dry season. But the rains are fast approaching. The ZCP scientists have vital data to collect and need to work fast before the rains arrive. Once the wet season gets underway, the wildlife will spread out across the valley and much of the landscape will be cut off by floodwater. Vegetation becomes dense and impenetrable, and the ground muddy and undrivable. This morning, they're tracking one of the world's most endangered carnivores, one which has disappeared from much of Africa. The wild dog. Roaming over a home range of thousands of square kilometers and traveling up to 50 kilometers a day, they're hard to pin down. Johnathan and Henry are looking for a group known as the Hot Springs Pack. To help study these predators, they've put radio collars on key members of the pack. Today's aim is to collar one of the young dogs from last year's litter. It's likely that these dogs will leave the group during the wet season to find a new pack of their own. Johnathan and Henry are keen to gather data on what happens to them after they leave.
Yeah, stop a bit.
How strong does it sound?
Not very strong, but it's a male dog I'm hearing right now, and I just want to try and see the direction using the H antenna.
Okay, I think the road turns in a second, so.
The pack has had 8 pups this year, but Johnathan and Henry don't know whether all the pups are still alive.
So they are at 3 o'clock.
Okay, good?
Yeah, they're not too far.
Is it pretty close?
Yeah,
Sounding louder, okay.
I think we should go in.
Go in?
Yeah.
Which way?
Right there. 4 o'clock, straight.
12?
Yeah?
Eeh. Still 12?
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, there I see them.
see him? Oh yeah, I see him right there at 1 o'clock.
The pack's finishing a fresh impala kill. Despite being a tenth of the size of lions, these skilled predators are successful in 8 out of 10 hunts, and the pack will eat almost every day. Unlike many carnivores, wild dogs don't scavenge and will only eat what they have killed. Wild dogs will also allow the youngest dogs to eat first at a kill.
Awesome, see some of the pups. How many pups do you see?
Yeah, I'm seeing 8 pups.
Yeah, 8 pups, cool, so they're all surviving.
There are fewer than 6,000 wild dogs left in southern Africa, so to see these pups doing well is a great moment.
There's some yearlings here too.
The team's research has shown that in their study area, wild dog numbers are on the up, and that's partly thanks to them.
Yearling, yearling, yearling.
The dogs can become entangled in snares set by humans, trying to catch bushmeat. ZCP's efforts to rescue the dogs and discourage local use of these traps is likely to have increased their survival rate. This is one of the only places in Africa to sustain such a healthy wild dog population.
Well, there's the alpha female.
The pups won't stay with the hot springs pack forever. In wild dog society, both males and females leave their pack to find mates and join new groups of their own. These dogs will go well before they're 3 years old. Keeping track of them when they leave is a vital part of Johnathan and Henry's research. With the pack resting, it's a good opportunity to collar one of the young females. It's likely that she'll leave the group during the coming wet season. Johnathan calls in reinforcements.
Mike Bravo, Juliet Mike.
Mike Bravo, over.
I just wanted to update you, we're just in Hot Springs right now, over.
Awesome, that's great. Hot Springs back, you're saying, over?
Affirmative, over.
Copy that, we'll go down and check them, over.
Cool, just copied, stand by.
Johnathan and Henry work closely with ZCP's vet, Dr. Sichonde. They've picked out which young female to target. The first challenge is to sedate her with an anesthetic dart.
Whenever you're ready. Okay, good. Looks like it's gone in. Let's keep an eye.
She lays down just a short distance from the watchful eyes of her pack.
See her just over there. Okay. Okay, let's try to get a little bit closer and let's check on her and see how she is. Okay. Good. Okay, let's go see.
Johnathan only approaches when he's sure she's asleep. Dr. Sichonde covers her eyes to protect them from dust while they work. The team has to work quickly. The less time she's sedated, the better.
I'll keep right down 4 respirations at 23 minutes.
They keep a close eye on her vital signs. Once the collar's on, they use this rare encounter to gather important data.
$36.4.
6.4.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Carnivores can't control their temperature when they're unconscious, so they keep her doused with water to keep her cool.
This one. Where's it? Yeah.
They leave her under a shady tree. The vet administers the drugs to bring her round. It doesn't take long before she's up and about. A little drowsy, but none the worse for wear. Satisfied that she's made a full recovery, the team heads back to base. The new collar will provide them with essential data for the next few years. By mid-November, the skies are swollen with thunderclouds, but the ground is still parched. The team has one last task before the rain set in. They want to check in with the Nsefu lions. Things are shifting within the pride.
Going back a little bit and looking around. We're kind of keen to find the collared lioness from Nsefu Pride. We'd like to check up on her because she has some new cubs this year, and we want to see how she's doing and how the cubs are doing.
Mortality is high in young lions, so it's important that they get visual confirmation of the 2 new cubs and assess their health. But Henry has to be within 1 kilometer to pick up the signal from her collar.
Do you think it's worth going back to the other side, or do you want to just keep going up?
I think let's just continue. I think it was just something else. It wasn't the signal.
Okay. Is it pretty close?
Yeah, they're not too far.
It's sounding louder, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I see them, right there, like Cop 31.
Oh yeah, I see one right there.
As they home in on her signal, they find some other members of the pride, lounging in the shade. Young lions from previous litters are resting with the grandmother of the group. She's 13 years old, an exceptional age for a wild Luangwa lion. ZCP scientists have been studying her for most of her life.
She does look a little bit, I mean, they all look a little bit thin, but she looks definitely a little bit.
Yeah, she's now in her last years.
She may be too old to hunt for herself, but she is still resourceful. A nearby scent attracts her attention. A leopard with a fresh impala kill. This leopard is only half the size of the lioness. She doesn't want to risk a fight, even against a 13-year-old grandmother. The lioness takes the impala back to her pride. They gratefully tuck in. The fact that this old grandma can still help provide for her family is a clear sign that there is abundant food and that the pride is doing well. It's another indication that the Luangwa Valley is in good health. It's great to check in with familiar faces, but Johnathan and Henry are anxious to find the lioness that recently gave birth to 2 cubs.
And try to cross the stream to get to the other side where the signal sounds like it is.
So the mother, I think, is somewhere.
They find the collared mother, just a short distance from the rest of the pride.
The cubs here, to your right.
To my right?
Yeah.
How close to my right? In this bush?
This?
Oh, yeah, I see ya. She looks very healthy, though.
This is what Johnathan and Henry hoped for. 2 cubs, nearly 3 months old, both in great condition. And there are some other new cubs to add to their list.
And there's a cub coming right to her.
The collared female has been joined by her sister, who also has cubs, even younger.
I've seen 3.
Yeah.
They're all fighting fit. The 5 cubs are still suckling, but it's a bit of a scramble. Each lioness only has 4 teats, and the 5 cousins seem determined to suckle together. The two older cubs have more than doubled in size since Johnathan and Henry last saw them. Soon, they'll spend more time with the rest of the pride, learning where they fit into this extended lion family. To see the cubs flourishing is great news for the Zambian carnivore team. It bodes well for the future success of the pride and for all the lions in the area. It's thought that there are as few as 20,000 lions left in the wild. The ZCP team has estimated that the Luangwa Valley may be home to more than 500 of these top predators, making it one of the last remaining lion strongholds. These cubs are an exciting and important addition to the population. Through the course of their lives, they will provide critical information to help preserve Luangwa's lions. As with every area of wilderness around the world, human encroachment will always be a threat here. But people are not just part of the problem, they can also be part of the solution.
Our goal is to conserve these carnivores and then hopefully protect the whole area to sustain the park and the whole ecosystem for future generations to come.
Gathering huge amounts of knowledge and devoting their lives to the African bush, Johnathan, Henry, and the Zambian carnivore team will continue to monitor the predators that live and thrive in this wild valley, protecting them for many years to come.
Hey Love Nature fans, be sure to like and subscribe to catch all our wild animal stories. Get closer to nature right here on YouTube.